Fans have been begging for years. But at long last, Billy Bat by Naoki Urasawa and Takashi Nagasaki is getting an official English release. And not by Viz Media, as was the case with previous localizations of Naoki Urasawa's works. This time around, it is being localized by Abram Comic Arts' Kana, with them planning to release 4 volumes per year, starting in June of 2026. Unlike Viz Media's Perfect Edition releases for Monster and 20th Century Boys, however, Billy Bat is being localized in individual volumes, though of course for a lower price per volume, that being $14 US. This has been one manga that many thought would never ever see the light of day in the English-speaking world, given the manga subject matter and Naoki Urasawa's own reservations surrounding a potential English release. Nonetheless, what many thought was impossible is actually happening now, and by a completely different English publisher, which is both surprising and yet not so surprising, given that Billy Bat is the one and only non-Shogakukan Urasawa manga, and I am so excited to reread it physically and officially in English. With Billy Bat out the way now, though, excluding his short stories and smaller serializations, the only Naoki Urasawa manga that have yet to be released in English are Pineapple Army, Yawara, and Happy. I seriously hope that Viz Media, Kana, or really any other manga publisher out there can officially localize those stories. Yawara especially is one of the most influential manga of all time, having been credited for a massive surge in the popularity of judo, as well as spearheading huge changes in societal attitudes towards women in sports and martial arts in Japan. So it is just bizarre that Yawara has never seen the light of day in the English-speaking world. Happy as well is another incredible Urasawa work, a thematic successor to Yawara, and also Urasawa's own personal favorite of his own stories. And of course, Pineapple Army was Urasawa's first long-running serialization. So I definitely want to see all those stories officially localized at some point. For all you viewers, if you, like myself, would like to see Urasawa's other works localized in English as well, please show publishers your demand. Viz Media, for instance, has a form linked on their website for localization license requests, so definitely put down Pineapple Army, Yawara, and Happy if you'd like to read them in English someday as well. But hey, though it is only a partial victory thus far, at least we have Billy Bat now. If you haven't read Billy Bat yet, this is your chance to give it a read, and I can attest that this manga is nothing short of phenomenal. It is what I would argue is Urasawa's most personal work from his entire career, being an ode to Osamu Tezuka's Phoenix, and a work dedicated to humanism, as well as the life-changing power of art. Story-wise, it also shares some similarities with 20th Century Boys in terms of their conspiracy-based narrative structure, so if you're a fan of 20th Century Boys, you'll love Billy Bat as well. To give a very brief and truncated overview of the plot, the manga follows Japanese-American comic artist Kevin Yamagata as he finds himself dragged into a series of conspiracies, all revolving around the very character he draws in his comics, Billy Bat. As it turns out, Billy Bat was not originally a character made by Kevin, but rather one repeatedly drawn by others before him, all throughout human history, and it seems as though no matter what groundbreaking historical event there is, this bat always has something to do with it, and isn't actually just a drawing, but rather an existence far beyond that. But just what on earth is this bat? Definitely check it out when it releases in English next year. And if you have read Billy Bat, please let me know what your thoughts are on the manga over in the comments. And with that in mind, I'll see you around.